There has been an enormous amount of press around viewability, as we call it, and fraud. We're kind of broadly talking about it, trust in the supply chain, but I think it's kind of converged this year in what we call the two ugly sisters of trust in the supply chain, which is viewability and fraud. And there's been a ton of stuff written about it, mostly negative, mostly kind of based on apocryphal and self-interest, and I think it's what's happened is it's confused marketers a hell of a lot. But in truth, since a year ago when the advisory was lifted on viewability, we've seen viewable ads increase by nearly 30% year on year. So there's a huge good news story to be told. The web designers and the publishers are redesigning their pages to make them much more viewable. And marketers are responding by paying premium rates for more viewable ads, and so I think that we've seen a 30% lift, and I think other agencies that I speak to have seen the same thing. So I think we're not done, but certainly I think we've got a really good story to tell on viewability and on fraud too. I think that the industry has spoken, the media buyers and our clients have spoken and just said we won't tolerate a high degree of fraud in our advertising. We need to have this addressed, and what we will see tomorrow on the media day on Tuesday the 24th is the announcement of the Trusted Accountability Group, where the 4As, the IAB and the ANA are kind of coming together to create a group that increases safety and trust in the supply chain, which really moves the thing forward. So I think there's been some really positive moves being made, and I would like to see people kind of focusing on the good things that have happened around viewability and some of the positive areas that are coming out of this conversation.
And John, you've also been very involved with privacy, of course, and where that's going, and there's been a lot of issues around hacks and a lot of issues around standards here in Europe. And that's a very broad question, but where does privacy stand? Are you comfortable where things are? Where should things be going?
Yeah, we're in our 5th year now of the self-regulatory ad choices, and I think that the way we collect data for interest-based advertising and the way we're running the self-regulatory program has been acknowledged by the White House, and so I wouldn't say that it's gone away, but the focus has swiveled towards kind of data security more than it has for about information collected for behavioral advertising or interest-based advertising, and it's because of the hacks and the unfortunate security breaches that have happened, where people have people's kind of personally identifiable information has been hacked, and their identities are stolen, and their credit cards have been stolen, and that there's much more of a swing from the FTC, the FCC, and the White House to protect people's kind of data security and make sure that, firstly, keep the data as secure as possible, but if there is a breach, make sure that the notifications happen. And I think there's more focus on this kind of potential regulation around that space.
Okay, John, I wanted to talk a little bit about video and the transformation of television, and you guys are kind of leading a lot of that with Modi and the whole notion of addressability, and give us sort of your thoughts of where we are in a place and time around addressable TV or addressable video, and what that means and how it might evolve.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I'll say tomorrow in my speech is that we shouldn't forget that television is still a $370 billion revenue powerhouse in terms of subscriptions and ad revenue. But having said that, it's being disrupted, and I think a lot of people are seeing the convergence between television and video, and the addressability of being able to find an audience at the right time, and people who are the potential to buy. And the way we're seeing video is, one can serve a pre-roll ad to an addressable audience, and that's a step forward, I think. But we're seeing short form. Some of the exciting things we've seen is the democratization of video production, where fans are creating mashups of videos, and so you know, a brand might create several hundred permutations of ads, but then those fans create several 100,000 permutations, and those lead to billions, literally billions of views, and that's really exciting. There are 80,000 vines uploaded every day, leading to 50 billion loops, and so the way we're looking at video needs to be very, very different from the kind of pre, mid, post-roll era. There are 18,000 brands on YouTube, and 65% of the views, the video views on Facebook are now mobile, and 90% of the mobile video views are viewed with the sound off. These are just things that are changing the paradigm completely. Do we need to create so that people can understand the story without sound? So the video, people should be creating video or thinking about creating specific video strategies, because it's a very, very different, very exciting world, but a very different world. We think that video may even leapfrog desktop directly into mobile with all of these developments. It's a very, very exciting space to be in.